Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm here with some items. I'd gotten these two garlands from the Dollar Tree. One had skeletons, and the other had bats, ghosts, and pumpkins. And as soon as I saw these, I just knew they would make great cards. So today I'm making four slimline cards. There's a bonus at the end that's kind of totally different. So, what I'm doing here is I had backed this little bat with paper, and then I'm putting stickles in the cutouts to make him shine. So I am doing very simple designs here. I just cut these rectangles with my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to glue them together or tape them together. And then I'm just going to put a little tape on the bat too and tape him down. I'm having to be careful here because I have wet stickles that I don't want to get everywhere. It's probably best to put the stickles on very last. I don't use it too often, and so I forget that. I wanted to make things that were just like super simple and cute and inexpensive. So I'm using an old paper pad. This was a Michael's Hot Buy paper pad, and it's probably 2 years old because I haven't been to Michael's in about 2 years. So it's being used now, and I just loved this paper pad so much, and I'm so happy to use it. So you could just use whatever's in your stash. If you didn't have Halloween paper, but you have black and white or other types, then, or stamps, make your own background paper. Really, the sky's the limit. In fact, I remember when It's Me JD did a series on Dollar Tree, and she was clever enough to use gift bags from the Dollar Tree as her pattern paper. So I thought that was so clever. Anyway, so I'm using, the cut aparts that came in this pack to use as my sentiments and to further embellish my cards. So this is for the inside of the back card. Everything coordinates because it's all from the same paper pad. And I just thought those pumpkins were so cute. And again, I don't mind that the inside has such a narrow strip for writing because, what am I going to write? Happy Halloween. Love you guys. There just can't be too much, right? So it's funny. My daughter saw these cards and she liked all of them but the bat card. She said bats are extra creepy now that we have COVID. And I think she's right. That makes them even more creepy. So anyways, here I'm just moving on already, and I love this ghost, and I like the idea of this being like he's haunting a house, even though I don't want any in my house. um, that's creepy, right? So perfect. This is Halloween after all. So I am just going to trim off his little ghostly arms because they just weren't going to quite fit on my slimline card, right? And I just rounded them and think they look just fine. Now, I did end up trimming his head, and I didn't really like that so much. Here, I'm just going to pop him up. And I didn't like it so much, but they had the two holes in the top so that it could be hung on a garland. And that was bugging me too. So it ends up working out because of my placement of the sentiment. And I thought Boo was the perfect ghostly sentiment. So here we are. I'm just going to actually tape all of this down flat, but my ghost is really dimensional. I'm trying to use up some dimensional foam tape that I had in my stash and I had completely forgotten about, and it's getting kind of funky. You got to use that stuff. So I'm trying to use it up, and he's really dimensional and pretty cute. I like him. Even if he has a very short, he doesn't have a forehead, he has a one head. That's the joke I made with my daughter. We like to laugh around here. So I am just bringing in a little more of that bat paper and because it was behind the sentiment, and I just liked how that looked on the inside. So that one is done. It was so much fun creating these cards. I think it took me like 30 minutes to make all of them. Like, it really just flowed. It was really quite simple and lots of fun to do. All right, so here I'm actually going to use my scraps, my leftovers, and they were perfect length. They were 9 inches, which is exactly, and they were the right width. It was just perfect. I didn't have to cut them at all or make adjustments. And here, now I went back and forth with which skeleton I was going to put on these, and I ended up going with the black one, but it was after much deliberation. So I have this Happy Halloween washi tape in my stash. I've actually been including this in my card kits that I sell on my Etsy shop because I thought it went perfectly with all the card kits, and it's nice to throw in extras. I always like to give free gifts when people place orders. So I had it out, and I decided to use a little bit on this card. So this guy, I thought he was really cute. I love that he's like dancing and happy. He's a cutie. So I brought in that same washi tape for my sentiment on the inside of the card, and it just fit perfectly across there. And I thought it would be really fun to put this on lime green paper. It's almost like the color of slime, and I just love that. So I made my card base out of that lime green color. And then I had these sequins from Spellbinders from a past kit. The color was like so strange to me that they put in that, as far as like in combination with the kit. However, I was like, whoa, lime green or slime green sequins. This is awesome. I know I'll use these. And sure enough, Halloween has given me the perfect opportunity to use them. I've used them once or twice, on other projects as well. So here I had the idea of putting the little sequins in his eye cutouts. And when my daughter saw the card, she loved that. So I was like, oh, good. That was a good idea. Okay, cool. She's my little stylish girl. She always has such a great sense of like style and aesthetic. So here's the bonus. I didn't use just my paper pad. I wasn't going for something so fast and simple and easy. With this, I'm going to actually stamp and color and make my own background, which is something you could totally do. And I'm just kind of, positioning things to see how I want them. Now, I was also inspired by Amy R. at Prairie Paper Ink. She did a really cool Halloween card with a rose background stamp from Simon Says Stamp. And I loved how she colored it in, and she even made the centers white with little gray specks that look like eyes. It was so cute. And so that was definitely my inspiration when I went to color this card. I was originally thinking of stamping the daisies out. By the way, these are from Simon Says Stamp, and it's Daisy Bouquet, and I love the stamp set. I get a lot of use out of it, actually. But I was thinking of stamping them and cutting them out and popping everything up, and then I decided just to keep it simple. And so I used 2 different colors on my flowers, and then here I have a little bit of ink still on my stamp, and I spritzed it with water because I'm actually wanting that ink to move, because I'm going to use that residual ink to paint in the leaves of the flowers or the petals of the flowers. And then here I'm just strategically inking up the stems with my green color. even though in the finished product you don't see too much of that. Still, that's the way I wanted to do it. So here I am going to use a little bit of the green ink and paint in the stems. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to clean with a clean brush, just use the water and spread some of that ink around because I want yellow and orange daisies. And then originally I was thinking about putting blue in the background, and this is where I was inspired by Amy, and I was like, no, I'll do black. So, and I'm happy I did. So I got to clean up my space. It's funny, my desk is large. Of course, I store a lot of stuff on it, but I always work myself into this tiny square of a working or rectangle of a working space. So I just go in with the black soot distress oxide and quickly paint this all in. So I made the bottom part of my card very opaque and saturated, and then the top I did a very soft watered down version. It kind of looks like cloud cover. You can see it there, and I really like that. And so here I'm going to add some perfect pearls because I want some splatter. I don't want a little bit of splatter. I want a lot of splatter. And now I'm coming back in with the same yellow to color this scrap piece of paper that I had cut down to fit behind my pumpkin. I want him to look like he's glowing. And I used tape to adhere him down. I find tape is best with felt. And then I'm coming back with my stickles again, and I'm filling in all the cutouts so he sparkles as he shines. Don't we all? And I will just glue this down because it's just the paper, the backing paper that'll be sticking to the card. But yeah, I don't find that glue works great with felt. You really need like a double-sided tape adhesive, in my opinion. So here I'm separating this green and white twine I had, and he has that little dot again from being hung on the garland, and I just want to cover that up. So I decided to put like a green bow on here, and it's so cute. And then I wanted to also add a little bit of greenery behind him. Originally I wanted him to be like the center of a bouquet, but when it came to execution I didn't want to bother with it. So I just kind of add some greenery and it looked fine to me. And I have like, I don't know, 5 more of these pumpkins, so if I want to do my other idea I can always go back and do that. Although, as I just said that, I have an idea for all of them. So we'll see. Anyways, I really recommend, I did put some little enamel red eyes on that bat. He needed some eyeballs. Thank you, Carmen, for pointing that out. And that made him super happy and cute. So yeah, I recommend you look around, look for supplies that maybe aren't deemed card making supplies, and see what kind of fun you could have. When I saw these at the Dollar Tree, I didn't know for sure that they'd fit on a slimline, but I thought that they would. And if you know your slimline dimensions, you can kind of eyeball things. So I know my dimensions now of what sizes I like to use, and I eyeballed them and they worked perfect. So leave me a comment below. Let me know which one is your favorite. And please like and subscribe. And thank you so much for spending your time with me, especially if you made it 15 minutes. Awesome. All right. Have a beautiful day.